Welcome back to Wheats Art. Happy New Year's, everybody. First, happy late years, because the day ain't over yet. But in some parts of the world it is. So happy New Year's, everybody. All right. I am back here with part two of the year in art. My year in art, I should say, to be precise. It has been a great year in art. I just completed my 100th piece. I think it was yesterday, and I'm excited for the new year to begin. We will do more art in the new year. Never stop doing art. Art is nice, absolutely. All right, let's get started from where we left off. Yesterday, I believe we left off at number 51. Where do we go from here? Which was the final piece of the small series, one of the small series. So now we look at the machine. The machine, this guy right here. This this was supposed to be featured in one of the smaller series, but I messed up horribly on it. So I set it aside and gave it a new life and added this wonderful art around the square here, which gave it an amazing new life, a new look on life. So I'm pretty stoked. There were a lot of mess ups with this. And it looks like there aren't any mess ups when you look at it from a finished perspective. So we have that. This is number 52 of the year. Next, excuse me. Next, we move on to spinning tires. This took me a little while to work on. Not too long, probably a month or so. I just kept putting it off, but out of all of the projects I put off, I don't think this falls in the top 10. But anyways, this one's called Spinning Tires. It was completed March 21st, 2025. It is an amazing piece, and it came out really well. I'm pretty happy about it. And the next piece is called Easy. I was experimenting with metallic Sharpies. I will not be doing that again. I, I really don't care for the metallic Sharpies. But this is what came out of that experience. And this is called Easy 3/23, 2025. That probably only took like an hour and a half or not even 2 hours to make, I think, if my memory serves me correctly. Let's look at Imagine. This is a great piece. I drew this character several years ago and never got back to this page. This year I decided to pull this page out and finally finish it. I was gonna make it a full Mandela piece, but then I'm like, wait a minute, let's do shard style instead. And actually I like this a lot. Some people think I was high when I drew this, but I wasn't. I swear. I promise. All right, and that was called Imagination. All right, here we have one of my favorite pieces. This guy. I really like my geometric style pieces, honestly, and this is one of my favorites. This is called Emergence of Awesome Sauce, March 26, 2025. Really, really. All right, and here we are. Array of colors. The next one is the Lego Death Trap. This one was done on April 3rd, 2025, and it was inspired by Sprinkles. This one right here. You can see them side by side. They look amazing together. This big one was supposed to be this one, but it kept smudging in the white spaces. So I'm like, you know what? This is finished just like it is. And it looks okay with them sporadic spaces of color. But it worked out because I decided to do a smaller version, which is this, and this is called the Lego Death Trap. Don't step on the Legos. Okay. Here we have It Is What It Is. This was supposed to be in one of the black and white series, but I messed up big time on it. I set this aside and worked on it later and then made it its own little piece. Hmm. Excuse me. Now we are looking at the next 16-piece colored set. We have Shattered. Ironically, this was supposed to be the final piece of the set, but I changed my mind and made it the first piece of this set. So this was done after most of the other ones were completed. This one is number 1 out of 16. Here is Silk, the second one. Silk. Silque. A different spelling of silk. And this is the on April 4th. Here is one called Smooth, the next one of the series. This one is called Social Experiment. This is called Simple is Nice because simple is nice. I think I did that one real quick before work one day. And here's one called The Nice One. And this is called Exhibit W. I could not think of a name for the life of me for this one. This one's called Colorphoria. Nice and simple. Also one that I did right before work, I'm sure. A dalliance with blue. Got some different shades of blue going on here. And it looks really nice. It looks like an ice cube with a little bit of red in it. Perfect coloring there. We have Shapeshifter. This is a nice piece. It came out better than I thought it was going to. Right. This one's called Different. And once again, these were supposed to fit my 16-piece frame down there. But these are too big. This one's called Lunchtime. This one is called The Gray Area. Walk through the gray doors and find out why it's the gray area. Here's one called Color Randomness. Just a bunch of random stuff in here. And then here's one called Anxiety. And here's one called in the final one, Unsolved Mystery. This one's called Unsolved Mystery because I couldn't think of what to draw in the center there. And it turns out it didn't need anything. And this was going to be the first piece. I started this piece at the beginning of the series, but I just couldn't finish this piece until the end of the series. And then I decided that it was best to have Shattered be the first one and this be the last one. And Shattered was honestly the final piece. But I switched roles there because of that. All right. All right. Smooth social. Proceed with Caution is next. Proceed with Caution. This is a really good one. It has a few shades of gray in it. I like it. One of my first times experimenting with lighter shades of black and darker shades of white. Here we have Euphoric Palooza. Euphoric Palooza right here. This is one of my favorite pieces. This was just completely random. I didn't know what I was going to do with this piece, and it just came out real well. I'm really happy with this guy. All right, now we've got a bunch of little tiny drawings. We have wheels. Let's make sure I'm reading these right. Wheels. We have parts. Very nice. We have picture perfect. This looks nice. We have in great shape. In great shape. And we have clips. Kind of like an eclipse. All right, the next one is called Unhinged Beauty. I called it unhinged because I decided not to use any rulers or stencils in this piece. It's all natural. And it came out real nicely. I like it. And here's one called A Busy Day. I accidentally tore it right up here, about a half an inch into the artwork. So I need to figure out how I'm going to fix this guy. I really like this piece, and I don't even know how I tore it. One day I picked it up off the table and I saw the tear in it, and I'm like, how on earth did I do this? Because I don't remember tearing it at all. I'm so bummed about it though. But I'm sure I can find a way to fix it somehow. But tears are just, it's hard to work around tears. I've got to do something a little creative with it. Let's see here. Okay, we've got A Busy Day, A Little Magic cookie. Here's one called A Little Magic. Perfect. I found that pretty fast. Code Red. Code Red. Here's a small red drawing here. We call it Code Red. Reminds me of Mountain Dew. Then we have Code Blue, of course, because blue and red go well together. All right, and we have the next one is called Cover Up. This one I messed up on like 15 or 20 different times in this piece. I well, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to resurrect this piece, but in the end, it came out nice. A little more black than I wanted to, but it is what it is. I turned this piece into something beautiful, as I normally do when I make mistakes. All right. The next one is called Trash Panda. I don't even remember why I called it Trash Panda. Oh, I remember why. Because I did this on recycled paper. This paper was going to end up in the recycling, but I'm like, wait a minute. There's just a bunch of black marks on it. I might as well turn this into a black and white piece instead of wasting paper. I don't like waste. I really don't. I try to not to waste as much as I can. So this is called Trash Panda because pandas are beautiful and this became beautiful. And it looks really nice with the black bordering there. Okay. The next few pieces are going to be interesting. This one is called Sometimes Love is Broken into Black and White Pieces. But I'm not finished with this. I started this more than 15 years ago, and I continued working on it either last year or this year. And it'll be one of the projects that I'm going to go try to complete next year. And my next few pieces are borders. Uh, I may have started these two borders in 2024, but I like the border work so much I haven't gotten back into this one because I just like it like it is. And eventually I will finish it. 2026 may be that year. And this one is a redraw of that piece. Uh oh, the center and you can't see it on because it's in the center of my wall. But anyways, this is kind of a redraw of one of the hideous artworks I did last year. So yes, I'm pretty sure this border I did last year, and maybe I think this border too. Eventually, these are going to get finished. Now, the two border works I did this year, this one. This one I think is going to be a mandala piece. I'm not quite sure with it yet, but I think the center will be a mandala. I think that's the direction I will go. And then this piece, the border work came out so nice that I haven't gotten myself into working on it because I'm admiring the border work. It's simple, sure, but it's beautiful. And I will work on this at some point, but it just is awesome. And here's one I did a few days ago, a border that I did a few days ago. I think it was right before Christmas, maybe, or maybe after. Can't remember. But this one, this border work, I really like a lot. And 2026 will be the year I finish these projects right here. I will make that my plan. All right. Now we're on to mesmerizing. Mesmerizing. This is a great piece. It came out really nice and simple. And this was another piece I was gonna. This is another piece of paper I was gonna toss in the trash because it has a ding right here. So what I did was I did the art on this side of the paper instead of this side, so I can just cut this part off if I want to. So I didn't waste paper yet again. I could have thrown it in the recycle bin and it would have been not a big deal, but I just don't want to waste. All right, here we have. Oh, my list is in. My list is in a different order here. We're gonna try to go through it the way I think it goes. Here's one called Pieces, October 1st, 2025. This looks nice. I was going to do a 6-piece set of these, but I just kind of got lazy. I might still do the set though at some point. Because every time I look at that, it reminds me of I still need to do a few more of those. All right. Let's look for. Oh, the Red Miracle. The Red Miracle is next, actually. This is one of my favorite pieces of the year. This is my second favorite piece of the year, actually. I just absolutely find this phenomenal. Absolutely love this a lot. Red Miracle, and then this one. Let's see what is the next one. Okay, the next one is going to be. So I guess the next one is called Mental Euphoria, right here. This one is probably my third favorite of the year. It's nice and small, and it inspired this piece right here. It inspired this piece on my wall right here. It is just absolutely amazing. Love it. All right, and now we have Portal to the Underworld. Portal to the Underworld right here. This is amazing. It is very simple and it is great. All right, here we have Shades of Shards, a really nice, quick piece, kind of different shades of gray there. All right, and now we have my favorite piece of 2025. This is my favorite piece of 2025 right here. It goes it was inspired by my small piece. I was like, "Hey, let me do a bigger one of this because the small piece looks really nice." And I got to tell you, it was miserable completing this. I had a miserable time completing this. Lots of mistakes were made. Just I was just I was over it halfway through, honestly. I wanted it to be done and over with. It was pretty miserable to draw, but it came out looking so beautiful. And it turns out it's my favorite piece of the entire year. All right. And it feels like yesterday that I just did this piece because it was just like 3 days ago. Colorful. This one is called Colorful. I did this on the 28th. Oh, all right. And here we have the Midnight Experience. This was done on the 29th, and it looks awesome. Oh, and the 100th piece of the year is Welcome. This is the 100th piece, and I think it's the final piece of the year unless I draw something tonight, which I could easily do. I might do a little piece tonight, who knows? But this is the 100th piece and most likely the final piece of 2025. And this will be my new intro piece. It is amazing. It looks almost like my hello that I already have in my intro, but I chose to redraw it and call it welcome. So it looks amazing. Well, they both look really amazing, but I'm pretty happy that I will have an update to my intro pretty soon. Uh, with that being said, thank you so much for subscribing, liking. Please leave comments on my videos and shorts. Your likes are appreciated. I appreciate your time being here, and I appreciate you. You all have a happy new year. Enjoy the late year first, or what's left of it if you're in a time zone where it's still 2025. It is currently 1:24 in the afternoon here on December 31st, 2025. So enjoy your time. Hope next year brings you peace and happiness and all that good stuff. Anyways, thank you so much once again. Have a great rest of your year or beginning of next year.